Good afternoon. It is Matt Rogers. It is now the 14th of December 2024. Thank you for joining Nibiru Sky Observations channel. When you have some time, please subscribe. On this broadcast, we're going to talk about the Battle of the Two Suns has begun. The October event, mid-November snapshot data shows that Nemesis entered its aphelion, login late October, and the Battle of the Two Suns has begun. Now, these important messages to all of you that have been sending in photographs and snapshots of strange skies, strange astronomical dark shadows towards the sun, orbs, objects. Something is going on. See, indeed, presently, Nemesis is whipped round the sun. Now it's pedaling to the metal because it pulls us into the danger zone until a few years after, where we see a pole shift in 2030. In the signs of installments, we present the data for the assessment and some of what we see of the experience in the next few years. The critical point is that those most likely to survive are those who are prepared and soundly situated by no later towards the end of 2026. After that, 2028, the unprepared will suffer, perish, and vast numbers. Multi-state country fireballs across the borders of multiple states and countries. This is critical category as a data set because of the fireballs that must travel a great distance to receive reports from across large geographic areas. October of 2028 is the dataset highest level of the year to date. We believe increasing will become pronounced by year end. Folks, indeed, a lot of cultures have spoke about the coming cataclysms. Millennia ago, the Egyptians and the Celtics authors recorded warnings for the future. For the Egyptians, Exodus was a horrific event about to slave uprising amidst a horrific natural disaster caused by a brown dwarf star in an orbit around our sun. Folks, many people have already built underground facilities because they know, deep in their heart, they have a gut feeling that something is going to happen. These luxury underground establishments are further as 250 feet underground. Just like Carlos Munoz Ferrada, the Chilean astronomer, predicted Hercules, a planet of crossing that carries Nemesis, that will cause havoc in our foreseeable future, predicted earthquakes. But indeed now we're starting to see an upbeat of earthquake activity, but the establishment will say nothing. Folks, from these past months of this year alone, 2024, the same level as 2020, 2021 and 2022, it is reasonable, consistent baseline for the assessment of relied more evidence on huge fireballs than multi-state fireballs. This is because huge fireballs are better indicators of distance and strength. The polar vortex. Indeed, a long time ago, things were just normal, but now, these past couple of years, this phenomena has changed, causing extreme weather patterns, causing frozen temperatures. Every other countries that indeed years ago weren't as cold as what they are now. So this polar vortex is causing a considerable amount of damage to infrastructure and also humanity. Now, it is something to think about. Is this polar vortex causing differences to different countries across our world because of the cataclysms? This inner solar system, towards where we see a discharge towards the Planet X Nibiru system, Nemesis the Destroyer. Could something be happening, not just to our planet, the Earth, but also known heavenly bodies in our solar system? Things are changing, folks, very fast. Even the jet stream from 1981 was completely different to what we see it now of 2024. It's practically stopped. Something suddenly has happened. Even the magnetic poles have changed, causing more chaos towards ground zero of our planet. This is very serious, folks, because during the pole shift, every above ground structure will be damaged or destroyed. The only proper safety during this time will be found underground, especially for those who use remaining time to build below ground farming. Those who fail and fall to prepare for the years of hardship will become the among for the first to perish, and the most will die badly. Many astronomers have been tracking Nemesis for nearly a decade, and for the most critical criteria of assessing where Nemesis is in its orbit of growing changes in size. Folks, soon we will see more fireballs of all types of iron oxide dust from Nemesis cloud. Also, by mid to late 2025, Nemesis will appear larger than the Sun. Consequently, the observations report has the instructions aspect that even occurs. We explained March 2024, the article of the concern that a subsea eruption will happen in the Philippine Sea and could be deadly for millions in 2028. Digging up information of a chart of huge fireballs, even dated back to 2009 to this year alone, 2024 December, using the database to define bands, gaps of Nemesis cloud, because indeed now in our solar system we don't see normal cosmic space dust, we see a mixture of iron oxide. With this inbound Nemesis system, tracked a pulse pattern with a flyby of Nemesis. The point is, of the phenomena is not constant to the creative society maintains, but instead the evidence is natural variability, or as Johnny Clarkson used to say, hills and valleys. Nemesis crossed the ecliptic into the northern skies in July 2020. We now have the perfect bell curve with 6 weeks to go in this year. If you learn and also look into the studies of Planet X, you will see by now, just by leaning your head and looking up sideways, imagine a brown dwarf sun whipping around the sun. And if you're not noticing it, our sun surely is. Solar Circle and the danger zone. In the coming years, we'll see more activity instructions and also interactions as they follow with the scientific community explaining between two suns. The brightness will intensify progressively. Now indeed, pointing the telescope to our solar system, noticing huge chunks of rock, more chunks of rock, asteroids, space dust, that's been appearing through the past couple of years, more and more activity. It wasn't like that a good number of years ago, it was much clearer. But indeed as well, that I find to be most disturbing because the cosmic lighting may strike a planet as a indeed electrical interaction between the two suns develops, but more likely it will strike deep into the Nemesis cloud, resulting to be like a ball hitting a kingpin straight on, scattering rocks in our direction, bringing us to other threats. Now, other threats described when we speak about the Nemesis system, all this trash, space debris, space dust is being dragged in with this system, the mini solar system entering our solar system. Other danger zone threats. As we report here on this broadcast, the interactions between Nemesis and the Earth is growing, which has warmed up the core and slightly flatten the shape of our planet. This will indeed accelerate. The fish, which can grow up to 30 feet in length, and also fed on the grill, have typically washed up on the beaches, injured and disorientated. According to the scientists, according to some media reports, fish have been associated with the Japanese folklore in prophecies of doom, in particular earthquakes. And finally, I have saved the most interesting for last. Rogue, uncalculated objects. These bodies vary in size and drift through space without a gravitationally inbound to any star of a brown dwarf. Many will be kicked our way by Nemesis as it's ploughing through the core of our solar system. Thank you for listening to this broadcast, and I will be back with more information because there's other strange phenomena across the whole of our world, seeing these strange balls of light, orbs. Is the military using drones to confuse the public to thinking they're drones, but indeed they are unidentified flying objects? Other reports have come in as well that these objects are moving away from our world. Do they know that something is going to happen? From Matt Rogers.